Welcome to Radically Loved Radio. I am your host, Rosie Acosta, yoga teacher and teacher trainer, mindfulness coach, speaker, and creative writer. I am also the founder of radicallylove.com, a website where you can go for more information about yoga, mindfulness, meditation, and lifestyle advice. On this podcast, we talk to people within our health and wellness community that are creating content through the ritualistic practice of yoga, meditation, or overall mindful living. We hope to create value in your life so that you can achieve your highest potential and live a radically loved life. To stay in touch with us, just follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Rosie Acosta and on Facebook at Radically Loved Rosie. You can sign up for our newsletter on radicallylove.com to stay up to date on future workshops, retreats, and latest podcasts. I hope that Radically Loved Radio leaves you feeling inspired to create something powerful. My teacher, Yoga Rupa Rajstreger, says, if you powerfully believe in the value you have to offer the world, your love and passion for it will be an unstoppable force. Thanks for listening. This podcast is brought to you by our very special sponsor, E-RYT. So Ayurveda is the sister science to yoga. Ayurveda relies on the intelligence of Mother Nature and our own body's ability to heal. Most of you know that as a health coach and a nutritionist, I have spent most of my career always trying to find more natural and holistic modalities. I have an autoimmune disease, so this makes it a little bit more challenging, but it's manageable nonetheless so long as my body is in full balance. A couple of weeks ago, I was talking to my dear friend and fellow podcaster, Sahara Rose, and I was telling her I was having all of these issues with my stomach, my digestion, and she recommended this brand called E-RYT. So I did my due diligence and I researched them, and I found that this company has really created an incredible brand of supplements to support everything that we love about our bodies and our body's natural ability to heal, but also using the tools of Ayurveda. So they use this as their foundation to everything that they do. As with everything, I'm always a bit dubious because I know there's not a one-fix-all supplement or brand, but I tried it. I used both the joints supplement and the digestion, and I'll tell you, after using it for about a month, I noticed such a huge difference. They are just such an incredible company, and I was able to chat with them and talk to them not only about the high quality of their product, but the high quality of their brand and their company and what they're trying to do. I quickly found that these people are my people, and all we're trying to do is create a ripple effect in the world so that we can continue to impact people's lives and create better health, deeper connections, and just overall healthy living. I'm so excited to not only partner with them, but to have them share a special code for all of the listeners. Go to uvyta.com and type in Rosie, that's ROSIE, at checkout to get a special discount on all of their products. Thanks so much for listening. Hey everyone. One of the things that I get contacted about the most is this feeling of not doing enough or feeling like we're missing out. I feel like at the end of the day, all of that is really stemming from this place of worrying about what everybody else is doing. And this is a type of mentality or belief system that even I fall prey to. We can be living our life and see something that somebody else posted or hear about how somebody else is doing, and we are so quick to right away begin to compare ourselves to somebody else. And one of the biggest things that I say, and I've talked about it at length, is how comparison is the biggest joy kill, right? And this is part of our innate human conditioning, right? It's like we are always worrying about what other people are thinking or what everybody else is doing. And so I thought I'd just share a couple of things that help me to kind of get out of that mindset. So I'm going to share 5 different ways to stop worrying about what other people think or what other people are doing. So the first thing that you want to keep in mind is to keep things in perspective. So it said that people would care a lot less about what others think about them if they really knew how little others think about them. And it's totally true. Everyone has enough to occupy themselves, their minds. Like most of the time, we're worried about our own stuff, right? So the people that you're worried about, they also have their own insecurities. If you're worried about how you come across to someone you've just met, keep in mind that they're probably doing the same thing. So don't waste your time doing that. Number 2, question your perspective. So, this is really a matter of questioning your way of thinking, right? So, number 1 would be keeping things into perspective. The second thing we would do is to question it, right? So, humans tend toward cognitive distortions, as they say. So, this is a pattern of negative thinking that can hurt our mood and it can hurt our behavior. For example, we can always assume the worst, or we begin to filter out any good situation and pay attention only to the bad stuff, right? If somebody gives you uh, a compliment and they give you just a slight little smidget of criticism, you're only going to focus on that. We can overgeneralize or jump to conclusions and only pay attention to those things. So, pay attention to your thoughts and question them rather than allowing those impressions to run away with you. You may discover that your fretting only exists in your mind. Number 3, letting go of perfection. So, this can be a hard thing to let go of, right? So, it's this feeling of things being the right way or the idealized way that you have thought of things being. For example, maybe you don't have a professional photographer running around with you everywhere taking these beautiful pictures of these Instagrammable moments. That's just not normal. Most people don't do that. And I think that it's part of this mentality that can get us into this space of not doing something, right? We begin to deviate or put things on the back burner because it's not the right time, or you feel like shit, or you don't have the right outfit, or your latte didn't come out Instagrammable. It's just that it's not great. It's just silly when you really actually begin to think about it. It's a fruitless pursuit, not only because perfection is an illusion, but because what people think about you has more to do with them than it does about you. Number 4 is getting to know yourself. And I'm not talking like get to know yourself, what you like, what you don't like. It's really about getting to know who you truly are, and really questioning if you're making the best choices for yourself, for your career, for your relationships, and your ability to do things for you. Are you doing things in general just to impress somebody else or to compete with somebody else? And that's not always the best way of being. But because people, again, what people think is going to say a lot more about them than it does about you. Ask yourself, what is really important? What would I pursue or enjoy if I wasn't so worried about being judged or what somebody else's perception was of me? The last thing that I want to share is allowing yourself to be vulnerable. So it's totally, absolutely, completely, and unmistakably terrifying and totally against the grain to speak out or take a risk or to be in the face of disapproval by your peers, or maybe saying something that's a little too private that people are going to criticize. But this doesn't have to do with them. This is about you being able to make a decision that matters to you and your ability to trust yourself and just go for it. So we don't go to a different level, or we don't achieve another plane of consciousness, or we don't evolve by always playing it safe. We evolve and we grow by allowing ourselves a chance to, not let things always work out. I've talked about it in the past how I'm not a big fan of the word failure, but sometimes we just need to do things that don't work. That's how we're able to grow, and that's how we can continue to encourage ourselves to break through any preconceived negative thoughts or beliefs. I hope that's helpful. these are things that I do in my life to break through any of those barriers and to stop worrying about what anybody else is doing and what people are thinking of me. Thank you so much for being here, and thank you so much for listening. Do you want to go on an epic yoga adventure? I do. In fact, I do all the time. When do I not want to go on an epic yoga adventure? And this fall, in an attempt to see the Northern Lights, we will go to Iceland into a journey through the chakras. It's going to be fun. If you're curious, you can email me at rosie@radicallyloved.com or go to the show notes and click the links to each of the retreats, or you can go to radicallyloved.com. See you soon. Hey everyone, I hope you enjoyed this episode. I am so excited to continue to do this. Please share this with your friends. Email us, message us on Instagram at Rosie Acosta or on Twitter at Rosie Acosta. Subscribe on iTunes, write a review. We love doing this, so please help us continue to keep this podcast going. Thanks for listening.